Could the episode start with a red curtain with the DIStory Dan logo? It's the DIStory Dan Show! Do 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 do. To show you evolutions is what I'm here to do. So it really makes me happy to evolute for you, Miss Piggy! Yeah! Whew, that was commitment. Evolute's a word. I looked it up. It's a mathematical term, nothing to do with evolution, but I'm sticking with that lyric. From Piggy's inception, she was a diva, 100%, in this beautiful gown, beautiful hair, beautiful eye makeup, but Piggy then was known as Piggy Lee and was first played by Jerry Nelson. Initially introduced as a bit character in a talent recruitment episode of the ALPERT show,
I can't give you anything but love.
Piggy Lee was somewhat of a joke and an homage to the singer Peggy Lee, who Bonnie Erickson, original creator and designer of Miss Piggy, was a big fan of. Unfortunately, Peggy Lee wasn't fond of the Muppets and at one point even threatened to sue. You can tell that she was kind of an ensemble player and whatnot because Piggy would make continued appearances and would be altered occasionally with new eyes, new bodies, new costumes, different hair, different accessories to play different characters depending on what Jim needed for a certain performance. You can see Piggy as Piggy Lee in a segment of Muppet Sex and Violence with a new set of eyes that usually people make when they hear that the Muppets first starred in a special called Muppet Sex and Violence. But it wasn't until the Muppets got their beloved ongoing show that Miss Piggy began to develop her own unique personality. The original construction of Miss Piggy is interesting to take note here because she's a hand-carved foam puppet that's then skinned in Antron fleece. And this is how Miss Piggy and most of the pigs were constructed early on in the Muppet Show. As the character moves and talks, the skin, the fleece of the puppet, can wrinkle and move very strangely, and it's kind of unsettling. Miss Piggy early on is hard to look at in certain scenes. She still has that bright, beautiful personality, but she is kind of like wrinkly and mangy looking, specifically in that first season of The Muppet Show.
Do you prefer Shakespeare to Bacon?
She was played by multiple performers. Richard Hunt, that would play her occasionally. But it wasn't until Frank Oz kind of introduced a little bit of sassy violence and hi-ya-ness to Miss Piggy, specifically after the Kermit the Frog infamous Tattooed Lady performance, that really set the tone as Miss Piggy being Frank's character.
Have you met my left fist?
It was season 2 of The Muppet Show, though, that really, boom, sent Piggy skyrocketing to stardom. And she got a new puppet in the second season that kind of refined the look a little more, with a different snout that made it a little bit more dynamic for Frank, who used to put a lot of emotion in the use of that snout. Her eyes were glammed up, made a little bit bigger. Her hair, her ears went from these kind of flat, curly Doritos into these thick, crispy pork rinds. It was really, really great upgrade to the character. Some jewelry, some different gloves. She really started to glam it up, but as her fame started to skyrocket, so too did her wardrobe. She was a regular character on things like Pigs in Space and the veterinary hospital skits, but she also then started to be used alongside diva galore, doing performances with Elton John or Ethel Merman, really celebrating the character and putting her in all different kinds of truly unique outfits through the run of The Muppet Show. The late 70s were wild for Miss Piggy. All right, she started writing books, making guest show appearances. Miss Piggy exploded as this cultural icon. And what you'll soon see is that Miss Piggy is this fashion diva, right? And everything about her will continue to evolve as fashion itself evolves. She's a parody. She's a comment on the idea of fashion and how we perceive it in the media. And as that glamour lifestyle and our opinion of it continues to evolve, so too does Miss Piggy's With the introduction of the Muppets' first movie in 1979, The Muppet Movie, Miss Piggy got a true and full makeover.
This year's Miss Bogan County, Miss Piggy!
Previously, as I mentioned, made out of a hand-carved foam construction, Miss Piggy was, for the first time, instead of carved, thrown in latex foam, giving her a picturesque, smooth skin. She was finished in a new, unique way to puppet finishing at the time called flocking. Miss Piggy isn't, of course, the only one to use it. Lots and lots of characters use it. It takes hypercharged fibers using static electricity and shoots them onto a surface that's been prepped with a certain kind of glue. And when you do that in the right way, it turns into this very realistic, almost like peach fuzzy, natural hair look that you have when you have skin covered with very, very fine hair. It's truly remarkable, this kind of finish technique, and it changed the way Piggy would look forever. Now she is a cast foam sculpted head, similar to how this puppet is right here, right now. It's just a flat surface that was then covered with that really fine particulate, giving her that iconic look. And right around then, about halfway through season 3 of The Muppet Show, the foam cast Piggy was introduced into The Muppet Show, and from here on out, Miss Piggy kind of gets her iconic silhouette and style. This is the Piggy that we kind of become familiar with. It was the Muppet movie that really took the main characters like Gonzo, Fozzie, Kermit, Piggy, and refined the puppet into that really polished look that we are now familiar with to this day. Can you smell those candles? They smell like memories. It's the Magic Candle Company. Disney Dan 15% off.
Did you just make up that song on the spot?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. I'm impressed.
My name is Miss Piggy, and I would like to be a high fashion model.
The second Muppet movie really continued to refine the idea of Miss Piggy's look. And again, all of these movies really do. Every time she makes an appearance and the character is kind of played with, her eyes, her hair, her ears, things get tweaked and played with very often. And usually it's to accompany whatever ridiculous outfit she's wearing. And if you remember, Miss Piggy does a lot of stuff in the Muppet Caper. She swims, she rides motorcycles, she jumps through windows. I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I see a real Miss Piggy, i.e. like a 2-scale Piggy costume on a person who, to scale, it's so unsettling. It's, ooh, those are some petrifying puppets, I'll tell you what. The Miss Piggy stunt puppet wasn't done being used. They just turned it up to 11 in the next movie in 1984's The Muppets Take Manhattan, where Miss Piggy is, of course, iconically mugged in Central Park, and then takes chase after the mugger, where you get this, no one was prepared. I don't know how did parents explain that to children? Like, mommy, what is that? That's a pig on skates, honey. That's a pig on skates. And if I ever saw a Miss Piggy on skates coming at me at high speed, it would be one of the truly most terrifying things I'd ever encounter in my life. She's just so tiny and so thick and so aggressive. You know what I mean? You gotta watch out for a pig on skates. You've gotta watch out for a pig on skates. Of course, Muppets Take Manhattan is the birthplace of the Muppet Babies, but I'm not going to dig too deep into the Muppet Babies yet. Before that, of course, I have to talk about the first time the Muppets went on tour. 1984, The Muppet Show went on tour across America with The Muppet Show Live. It was incredible, truly. And with that, we got full-bodied costume characters of your favorite tiny Muppets, and none of them really work. Just, if you haven't watched The Evolution of Kermit, the costume isn't really great. All of these characters have articulated heads in that, they're lip syncing along with the track, and it works for most of the characters. Fozzie, Kermit, anyone that have big flappy mouths. But Piggy, by having this giant snout thing on this articulated costumed head, and so the mechanic really struggles to make the mouth kind of work. The Muppet Show on tour lasted for, believe it or not, 3 years. It kept being revived, and each year it came back, much like, Disney on Ice. New numbers were introduced, including Miss Piggy in the second and third tour being referenced as a Madonna-type character, except her name is Muy Donna. Because she's... Never mind. After the Muppet Show on tour ended in 1986, they kept it running. They just changed the age of the characters, where the Muppet Babies, now capitalizing on the ever-popular cartoon show that we saw first featured in Muppets Take Manhattan all the way back. Man, Baby Piggy is super cute, isn't she? And she's super cute when she's animated. She's super cute when she's animated in 3D, like we see her now as the Muppet Baby. But as a live, big, walk-around, terrifying baby, no, I don't need that. I don't need any of that. Here's though the thing. With Muppet Babies, they do translate into costume characters better than the Muppets do, in that they're all tiny and fat. You know what I mean? Like, that's the aesthetic. It's like, how do we translate the Muppets into children? Just make them short and fat. And that's what they did. And because of that, they have more realistic proportions that can be translated into these big dopey, costumes. Because, did you see how long Kermit's fingers were in that last... in that last segment? No, thank you. No, thank you. Leave it to Disney to step in and save the day. Because in 1990, as Jim Henson was negotiating the takeover of the Muppets by the Disney company, they partnered to make a lot of great stuff happen in the parks, including Muppet Vision 3D, which, fun fact, if you watch carefully, during the number where Miss Piggy is by the waterside with Bean Bunny, when Miss Piggy picks up the water ski thing and gets zipped off, you'll notice that because they had to do multiple takes and they couldn't risk the puppet being damaged, the head is rigged to detach. And so when Miss Piggy gets pulled forward by the jet ski, her head flies backwards. You'll never be able to not see it now that I told you. But separate from the Muppet Vision 3D, there was also a live Muppet show in the park called Here Come the Muppets. And they fixed all of the problems with the Piggy articulation. And the character delivers probably some of the best out of all of the characters being made into live, big-bodied costume characters. Here Come the Muppets ran for about a year in the space that we now know as Voyage of the Little Mermaid. And after that closed, after a couple months, they didn't stop performing. They wrote an entirely new show that moved them over outside of the Muppet Vision Theater called Muppets on Location, Swines and Roses, which was this Broadway send-off featuring all kinds of Broadway numbers with Miss Piggy as the star. And you kind of could watch the Muppets shoot on location and film a thing and all those hijinks that ensue. But Miss Piggy is full glam and she looks good. There's this picture of Miss Piggy with Brian Henson and Michael Eisner, arm in arm. My God, look at her. Glamour. The 90s really brought Miss Piggy into the modern era of fashion diva, and she first got that iconic new haircut look that she sported in the 90s with that short kind of bob in a 1989 National Wildlife Preserve PSA, who better to speak for nature than pigs and frogs and stuff, So, I mean, great partnership. And in this, she has this really great short bob and she looks really good. And this is the hairstyle that we kind of see now start to be the common hair look that she has throughout the 90s. Of course, with one minor exception, which was the 1989 Disney Christmas special, which looked like whatever box that she was shipped in to be featured into this thing was sat on by Sweetums, because she is like, she's like not normal. She's a little bit of like a sleep paralysis demon Piggy in this. She's like, this is the Piggy that when I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't move and I look at my feet, I see this pig staring back at me. Yikes. Her head shape, though, will continue to hold its unique round apple-like shape. She was very sleek and streamlined as a character, and by the time we see her in Muppets from Space in 1999, she is a true businesswoman pig. The 2000s brought a lot of changes for Miss Piggy, specifically with her voice, with Eric Jacobson replacing Frank Oz, and a lot of direct-to-video Muppet specials were made at the time. Muppets Letters to Santa, and, the Muppet Christmas special with Whoopi Goldberg left and right, including, though, a new movie where the Muppets take on the Wizard of Oz. We see a lot of fun stuff being done with Miss Piggy as she plays all of the witches, including the first time we see Miss Piggy with black hair. We've never seen this before. And she started doing the red carpet as a brunette, which I thought was really cool, although it's weird. It's like, growing up with a best friend that's got glasses and he wears glasses all the time. And then he sneezes for the first time ever, 5 years into your friendship, and his glasses fall off and you see him without glasses on. And you're like, dude, what's wrong with your face? And you realize, oh God, he's not wearing glasses. It's like that, but with hair on a pig. Into the 2010s, the Muppets come back, of course, with the Muppet movie and Muppets Most Wanted, and they lead the charge on a volunteering campaign for Walt Disney World that would get you a day in the park for volunteering your efforts to help mankind. And in the parks to celebrate this event, they had a special parade that featured a oversized Piggy and an oversized Kermit puppet that could read very well from parades, because if they were the regular size, they'd look a little bit too small. Of course, Miss Piggy will always continue to find new looks, new styles, new great ways to show off how much of a diva she is. But we got to look a little bit into the future in Muppets Most Wanted to get a peek at how Piggy and Kermit are gonna play out when they're older. And I think what's interesting about this is that she goes from one signature pearl necklace, which has all along been used to hide the neck seam, and now she's got 3 pearl necklaces. Kermit has really run out of ideas for Christmas. He just keeps buying this pig pearls at varying lengths. Miss Piggy throughout the years has had hundreds, maybe thousands of looks. But specifically, how her puppet's been used throughout the years by puppeteers, not just how she's been built, really influences the way that she looks on camera. A puppeteer like Frank Oz, who could be doing a lot of nose work that brings the nose down, giving the pig a lot of aggression, compared to a Eric Jacobson Piggy that's very proper and diva-like and has a lot of high nose work. And that kind of variance in performance truly influence how her face is being perceived. Now that the Muppet Show, the original Muppet Show, all 5 seasons are on Disney+, you all need to be going there right now to be watching that vintage pig in action and finding her footing as the diva that you now know and love. Not sponsored, but Disney+, please call me, I've got some ideas. Let me know which Miss Piggy throughout the years you've attached to. What appearance in a movie, what stunt or vicious act of violence against amphibians has really stood out in your mind as a titular moment for this iconic diva pig. Let me know in the comments below on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, all those really great places that I want to hear from you and talk to you. Let me know about your favorite bovine. No, bovines are cows. Swine.
Yeah. She's a feminist icon.
Is she? Thanks for watching, guys. As always, you rock.